Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I'm here to give another recap on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Before I get started on that though, don't forget to subscribe to It's CMZ News. I really appreciate that, as well as like and comment. I love hearing from you guys. So this episode, we are still in Aspen, but we're leaving Aspen, and it is titled, We Need to Talk About Kathy. So I'm really late getting this up, which is like no surprise. I've struggled off and on getting these out right on time. I've been doing pretty good though, but you know, this episode, it's not that it was heavy, but there was so much that wasn't said versus what actually was said. There is so much being said online, so much that was said before this even happened. So now that we're going into the episode, I don't know about you guys, but the episode looked a little different. You can tell that these last several episodes have been heavily edited by Bravo. Are they edited to protect Kathy? Are they edited to protect Kathy because she actually didn't do these heinous things and they don't even want any clips of RINNA saying she did, because now this is I don't know if it'd be considered defamation, but now we have it in the universe that she's said these things. So really quick, before we get into the recap, I want to talk about some of the stuff that was said about Aspen before. And actually Teddi the Nat Mellencamp, said on her podcast, 2 T's in a Pod, that she hosts with Tamra, she was honestly so freaking annoying, like even more annoying than she normally is. She is good with other recaps, but she has absolutely zero ability to be partial with Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I know these are her friends, but it's like you see your friends acting a fool and bullying and just being heartless, and you just have an excuse for everything, and it's ridiculous. So anyways, Teddi gives a little bit more insight from her firsthand knowledge. She wasn't there, but she obviously is friends with people who were there. Even before this episode aired, or even Teddi gave a recap, it was said when Aspen was coming out, if you follow any of the Bravo blogs, it was said eventually that Kathy had a meltdown at the club, that she had a meltdown, that they wouldn't play Michael Jackson. If you know anything about Kathy or even Kyle, they grew up very close with the Jacksons, and particularly Kathy is very close with Michael Jackson and LaToya Jackson. Those are Paris's godparents. So Paris Hilton, her daughter. So very close relationship, and she wanted to hear Billie Jean, right? It's a great song, but you know, there's a time and a place, and maybe it wasn't the vibe inside the Caribou Club. So apparently she flipped out on the DJ. Yeah, you know how DJs can be. You want them to play a song. They're, you know, it's like you're always approaching the bench, like, okay, excuse me, can you play this? From what I understand, I have a couple friends that are DJs. They hate it. They absolutely do not want you to ask them to play their song. But I'm thinking in a place like the Caribou, this is a probably really great DJ who has to play all kinds of music. I imagine a certain type of group of people are going there, and you know, he's probably used to requests, right? But maybe he just told her, okay, I will, or I can't get to it. But nevertheless, Kathy apparently went off on that. Apparently in the club, and this is what I'm a little confused about, we may not even know the truth, and I'm gonna kind of insert some of the stuff that Teddi was saying. Apparently in the club, Kathy has her meltdown, but on top of screaming and yelling at Kyle and things like that, and other cast members who were at this club, she apparently is yelling homophobic slurs. She yells racial slurs. She says the N-word. So that are the things that has not been said on this show. The only thing that they are confirming and saying for sure is that she went off on Kyle and said horrible things about Kyle, including other cast members, okay? So watching this episode, some of us may be like, okay, she went off on her sister. They're sisters. We know they have a volatile relationship. We know they go time without speaking. I'm watching this as someone who has heard these rumors. Teddi wants to confirm that there was more said, but nobody on the show is saying that Kathy said those things. And also the people that were in the club are not acting like they heard her say those things. But the only person who has been saying that she has said them publicly on her social media is Lisa Rinna. Okay, on the show, we're not hearing Lisa say that. We get glimpses that something horrible has said beyond Kyle, but she doesn't say that Kathy said racial slurs, homophobic slurs. They're sticking with Kyle. So with that said, here's my recap. I'm not going to go in order. I am going to go in order, but I'm not going to go do every scene. I, for the most part, did, but there's some little scenes and things. But I really want to kind of give more of my overall opinion, like as if I think Kathy is capable of these things. Do I believe RINNA? Those sorts of things. Also, I'm doing this late at night, so excuse the bags under my eye. I didn't even really try that hard, but actually it's not that late, but it's getting close to bedtime. So we start the episode with Lisa and Kyle are packing, and Lisa is grabbing her stuff, very winded. Breathing is an issue up in Aspen, and I can attest to that because when I was in Lake Tahoe, I could barely breathe. But Lisa is, talking in her talking head that Kathy had a meltdown and she hasn't seen anything like it. RINNA isn't seeing a whole lot. She's like, I'm still in shock. She's in shock, and she said it is nothing we would have imagined. And she meets with Kyle in the kitchen. Kyle says she's been crying all night because she's crying over Erica, crying a little bit about her fight with Kathy, but her eyes are puffy because of that, and she's just ready to go, right? So Kathy is at the house but won't come out of her room. Lisa's isn't saying much to Kyle, but it's clear that they're going to be leaving, and Kathy is not going on the plane with them. So now they're on the plane. The ladies all bored. They're having some lunch. They're ordering drinks on the plane. And Erica and Sutton actually have a really nice moment where Erica just looks at her and says, look, I don't want to fight with you, okay? But I lash out. It's because I just get so mad because I'm not being heard. And Sutton starts crying, and Garcelle's like, are you crying? She's like, I am. Garcelle probably also could have jumped in this conversation and somehow taken this apology to also mean to her, because Erica was looking at both of them. But Garcelle just sitting there, she's just listening. Sutton and Erica have their moment. And then Maurizio brings up, while they're on the plane, where is Kathy? They're all headed back home. Kathy didn't make it. And honestly, nobody seems that concerned. And I guess, we're all adults, right? I would hope if we're ever stranded, we can get home, but sometimes you just may not be able to. But Kathy can get out of Aspen. I wouldn't be surprised if she could literally waltz into a hotel that they maybe own or something and get a room, or she's going to be okay. So they're not worried about that. They didn't leave her in the middle of nowhere, but she's still, it would feel so weird coming with my sister, having these multiple fights, and then literally not leaving with my older sister. It just wouldn't feel right. But, Kyle seems to be doing relatively well on the plane, and she's eating and she's drinking and she's, they're talking, and Sutton in the talking head admits, she goes, so I don't really know what happened, but Kathy wanted to do the conga line, and I don't think anybody really wanted to do it. And then she goes, well, Kathy starts yelling at me and says, if you're my friend, you'll leave with me right now. Kyle also chimes in that, Crystal is like, I was there. I kind of saw some commotion. Didn't really make sense. Diana's like, I went to the bathroom and I come back and I see Kathy is yelling at Kyle. And Kathy is yelling at Kyle. She wants her to leave the club. Kyle said she was confused because she didn't exactly know why Kathy was mad, what had happened, why Kathy wanted to leave. She's like, Kathy, I'm not leaving. I just got here, okay? So RINNA agrees to leave with her. Now, on Teddy's podcast, Teddy claims that RINNA isn't a huge party or club goer, so she was ready to go. So RINNA decides that she will go ahead and take Kathy home. And, Kathy had her words and exchanged her words inside the club. But in the Sprinter van is where Kathy really showed her ass, apparently, okay? So Kathy, apparently in the Sprinter van, she is screaming that she wants to take down everybody. She's going to take down NBC. She's going to take down Bravo. She's going to take down all the women. This is, she has the power to do this. She's apparently back at the house now. She's jumping up and down on her glasses, RINNA says, and she's pounding the walls, and she's screaming and yelling that she's going to destroy Kyle and her family if it's the last thing she does. Does that sound like not nuts? Like, did Kathy low-key take something? How did she get that upset? Like, some people have fuses, but what got her that mad? Obviously there was some harboring resentments, right? through the weekend and little jabs and little things, but like she's jumping up and down on her own damn glasses. She's punching the walls. Like, where's the cameras, Rinna? And this is the problem. Can I believe that Kathy had a meltdown and got upset? Yes, she's human. Of course I can believe that. But what I cannot believe is that, Rinna, if there was no Bravo cameras in the Sprinter Club, supposedly, if they were off, if there were no cameras or anything still in Kyle's house, okay, everybody has a cell phone. Rinna has a phone. She didn't just like turn her phone on and hit record. She didn't have to point it at Kathy. She could have just set it right there on the table. She could have done that to get a little bit of this meltdown. I find it crazy that there's zero footage. Now, was it that crazy that Rinna just had to be in the moment and didn't know if maybe her life was in danger and Kathy was going to start punching her while she's punching the walls and jumping on her glasses? It's possible. I don't know. So let's continue. Kyle admits that while Rinna was taking her sister home, she's getting a play-by-play because she's looking at Erica's phone because Rinna is texting Erica that it's crazy and this and that. And she's getting a play-by-play of her sister. Rinna says in her talking head, Kyle is way more famous and way more well-known than Kathy ever has been. She still has anger over the agency, which is the agency that Maurizio started, after working with Rick Hilton. Rick put him on, introduced him to all these upper scale clients and everything. And then Maurizio started his own agency. As many people who do grow do, but there's discrepancy on that, that Maurizio took clients and stuff. I don't know if he did. Sometimes clients follow you. Sometimes they want a new, fresher way, whatever. It's not my fight. But she's saying, she said that comment to which I'm like, bitch, first of all, there would be no Kyle on this show if it were not for Kathy Hilton, who has been married, literally been with Rick since she was like 17 years old, and has given birth to Paris Hilton, who, there have been reality shows off and on for quite some time. I mean, I really originally watched like the very OG, the very first Real World that happened in New York, Road Rules, the OG ones. I don't mean the way they got super contrived and all of that. I mean the original several first seasons that were so raw, had legit real people, and sometimes they were still going to work because they weren't getting paid. Those shows were around, but Paris paved a way for a certain type of reality show as well. Paris Hilton. I remember watching, what's that show? E! True Hollywood Story, and they did one on Paris. I remember Kyle Richards being in that. I remember thinking, oh, that's her aunt. Kyle, for years, has used Paris's name to get herself press. Kyle, or from what I understand, I've heard from other YouTubers that they've said, other bloggers have said, originally the concept for the show was because, yes, Kyle was born in Beverly Hills, been raised in Beverly Hills. They wanted Kathy Hilton. They wanted that opulence of what comes with an heiress, of this magnitude. And her daughter, along with Nicole Richie, are these icons of the 2000s, like straight up. So like, put some fucking respect on Kathy's name and who she is. And also Rinna, your daughters who are also trying to be, at one point were Instagram girls and want to be models and all this. They are running because Paris walked or whatever, okay? Like Paris walked so these girls could run. So this show could be on. There would be no Beverly Hills without Kathy Hilton, because if you get Kyle, you get her thirsty sister who's been an actor. They were able to get Kyle. They were able to get Kim. They get a little glimpse here and there of Kathy. So from what I understand, originally they wanted a show that was about the Hiltons, the Kathy and Kyle and Kim sisters. Kathy wasn't interested, so they never got that. So then, hence, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills became a franchise on their own with other cast members, okay? So I just have to say that because that comment like really sent me, that she's way more known. Actually, I think Kathy is definitely known in that town. There's a bigger world than Bravo. Kathy is a part of a very small percentage of society, a very important part of it, that Rinna would probably do anything to be in, okay? that's my spill on that. So we go back home. Kyle is now, they're all home, right? We're off this freaking plane, and Kyle is packing, and she's leaving to go film the Halloween movie. She does mention to Portia that she hasn't talked to Kathy, and she says in her talking head that she never believed that they would go back to this dark place where that they aren't speaking, and she's not sure of how to fix this. Also, noticeable mention, Kyle's puppy is cute and being super naughty. Storm. And I'm just like, really, Kyle, like the last damn thing you needed was another damn dog. Okay. Dorit and Erica, we are having a party for Crystal. They're having a 20s party for Crystal. She's turning 39, and Dorit and Erica go shopping at the next day or something to go to a chocolatier, high-end chocolate place, and they're making the chocolate. Everything looks good. They serve champagne, and the girls are able to have their own little personal experience of making chocolate. And they say it over and over again, how luxury chocolate is. And Dorit just asked her straight up, have you seen the real? Remember, they went on the Aspen trip. Garcelle had that bomb that she filmed an episode for a show where they talked about hot topics, and one of the hot topics was Erica's earrings. And Erica said, I did, and it was devastating. And I felt like that was a really honest reaction from Erica. And I thought, wow, and I've said, listen, I have some problems with the way the girls have behaved, some microaggressions, different things they've done. But I feel like Erica wanted to be friends with Garcelle at a certain point. And so she said, hey, I would have appreciated a heads up. Like, girl, I lit your ass up last week. She goes, I had some really nice moments with Garcelle at dinner and in Aspen. And I thought, like, okay, we're making headway. They've been pretty straightforward with each other. If you even notice the way Erica talks to Garcelle, she doesn't talk to Garcelle in that angry way that she talks to others. Even when she is mad, they're very straight shooters with each other with a certain level of respect. And, Garcelle, I think that Erica was maybe rightfully upset, but I feel like Garcelle is so done. She didn't want to give her no damn heads up, and they talk about it a little bit more. But Dorit says, what upsets me is that Kyle was yelling at me at what you said was so horrible. And if I didn't agree to that, then that means I am somehow complicit in the alleged crimes that have transpired, because I want to just support you as my friend who is upset, and that I'm not denouncing you altogether and the words you said. And Erica's like, that's gross. And in Erica's confessional, she says, that she's not concerned about people who want to keep up with the neighbors and the Joneses, right? And she said something else that literally made my mouth drop. She goes, sometimes, okay, the ones that are doing the best are hiding the most. And I was like, that could go either way. That could go about Kyle, because there's a lot of stuff in her closet that they don't be talking about on this show. But with the context of everything happening, she's talking about Kathy. And to me, that's another hint that they're giving us that this isn't, whatever Kathy said was not just limited to bashing her sister, or at least that's the narrative that Erica and Rinna want to continue to put out there. So they go ahead and, they get the gift, and Dorit admits in her talking head that Kathy is a hyper elite, and you have to think twice if you want to go against that and you want to challenge it. Kathy has old hands in this town, very powerful town. So do you want to go up against that? Next, the ladies are all getting ready for Crystal's birthday party. There's a cute scene with Dorit trying to sneak a soda. And Phoenix is like, no, mommy, you don't need that. And she reminds me of my daughter, just like always looking out for her parents and just kind of thinking she's like the boss. And then Garcelle is getting ready too. Cherie comes over, and I don't know, this scene was kind of funny, but some people were super offended online, and they thought it was like so like low ranked of Cherie. But she comes in with no gift. We're going to a birthday party, mind you. If she had a gift, she didn't have it in her hands, okay? And she's like, oh, is that the gift? She goes, I'm about to put my name on this. Now, she signs her name with the highlighter, okay? And when Garcelle comes down, she does tell Garcelle, girl, I signed the card. And Garcelle was like, bitch, no, you didn't. And they have a laugh about it. So either that was legit, or she already said, hey, I'll help, we'll go on a gift together and let's make it funny, like I'm just signing my name. it fell flat to some people, but I thought it was kind of, it was kind of funny. And my friends would absolutely like, girl, can I just sign it? I didn't get a chance like to get a gift. Can I just sign my name on that or whatever? Or, these people are very wealthy. Like, do you guys want gifts? I mean, I know it's a birthday, but we're not 5. Like, do I have to bring you a gift? Like, but yes, of course, you bring a little something. So I kind of like, the champagnes or like this beautiful chocolate, like those type of gifts where it's like, no, I'm not buying you like stressing, like, do I have to buy a $500 gift at least or something? It's like very small, like little cute things like that. So they talk about, though, the reel, and Garcelle's like, I haven't talked to her about it. I haven't seen her. And she goes, I'm sure she's seen it. It's been everywhere. And Cherie admits that she says it would be hard for her to give up those earrings. Garcelle is like, what? What do you mean? And Cherie doubles down. She's like, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to just lie down and give them my jewelry. So they don't agree on that. But back at Crystal's house, the ladies are now arriving. They're all coming in their looks. Garcelle actually did share that she was inspired by Josephine Baker, and she looked beautiful. The ladies are coming. They all look really great. Erica is looking like a 20s Maleficent, like Diana said. That was great. And Diana comes in and she's looking, I kind of Marilyn Monroe, maybe, I don't know, Greta Garbo, but I think that's definitely not 20s. But she kind of had like an old Hollywood look, but everyone was on point. And RINNA arrives looking like a damn magician. And I'm not convinced that she's not up to some tricks. So it checks out. She admits that it's hard for her to be here. She's like, it is hard for me to come today because I still got PTSD from what happened. Kathy arrives. She says hi to everyone, sans RINNA. And RINNA is like, I cannot believe Kathy is here. And she is decked to the nines as if nothing has happened. Well, what is she supposed to come wearing, RINNA? Like some rags? Yeah, she's come to a party. Yeah, she's ignoring that anything happened because maybe, Kathy, nothing happened. Or maybe you've made this all up. Or maybe something happened and she's going to act like nothing happened because she wants it to go the freak away. And so they're all kind of hanging out, talking. It seemed like it actually was just them, which is, remember, it is still COVID. So we've seen a lot of these parties where it is just the cast. Now they go downstairs to Crystal's lower floor game room. If you remember, they last year they were redoing that room, and it's beautiful. It's like a bonus room, I guess, but what's that thing called, a basement, but it's obviously worth probably as much as my house, and it's really nice. And RINNA starts again. She's like, it is excruciatingly difficult to watch Kathy act as if nothing has happened. So we just keep getting these little scenes of RINNA's talking head saying how difficult this is for her. She's just sickened. She just can't, it is just so much for her to see her. And we get a cute scene with Sutton and Erica. They have a moment. Erica shares her drink with her, and Erica's discussing how she understands what it's like to have an older home, because her home with Tom that just sold today, actually for $7 million, was built in 1928. And Erica admits that she misses her house and that she drove by it recently, and she and Sutton just kind of had to talk about it. And Erica's like, look, I'm moving on. It's gone. She's gone. I'm moving forward. And they're all kind of sitting down in like the little couch area, and they're having some drinks, and Dorit, needing to produce and bring up this, I wouldn't even call it an elephant in the room because Garcelle ain't worried about it, but she needs to bring up the earrings situation. So Dorit brings up the earrings to Garcelle. Garcelle's real casual. She's asking her, have you talked to Erica about it? She's like, I haven't seen her. Well, we know they have each other's phone numbers, but these women do not talk unless they're filming together. That's very obvious. And so now this isn't exactly in chronological, but I'm going to just wrap up with Erica and Garcelle and all that. And Erica's like, Garcelle, can I talk to you? Garcelle's like, yeah, what's up? She's like, I would have liked a heads up. And Garcelle's like, oh, you would have? And she's like, yeah, because I thought we had a couple good moments. Garcelle's like, we did. And it's just like this ping pong of back and forth of like this little like unsaid emotion thing. And she's like, I thought we had some good moments, and you go on the show, I would have liked a heads up. And at the end of the day, Garcelle just goes ahead and says, look, it's part of my job. Erica's like, look, I get that, but come on. We just went on vacation together. We talked with the earrings all weekend. We talked about things. You could have said, girl, I got in your ass on my show last week, okay? But now that we talked, I get it. Just so you know, it's going to come out. I probably would have caved and said something. I don't think I would have texted her and been like, girl, I said this. But in Aspen, especially, they had a couple moments where Garcelle could have been like, well, you know how I feel. And as a matter of fact, I talked about it on The Real this week. And I did say how I feel about it. And just so you know, I kept it real there. And I'm telling you the truth here. I think Garcelle could have did that. But I think Garcelle's at a point where she doesn't think she don't owe Erica nothing. She doesn't care. So, but Garcelle apologizes, which was classy. Meanwhile, Crystal realizes that Rinna has left, okay? So Crystal runs after Rinna, is like, hey, you're not going to say goodbye? And Rinna, God, I wish I had a top hat. Rinna's just like, I have to go. I just can't. I have to go. I just feel sick. I can't stomach to be here. And Crystal's like, because of Aspen, it was bad, Crystal. Oh, it was bad. And Crystal's just like, okay. And Rinna literally says, I've seen the devil, and she's Kathy Hilton. She's like, she's not who she says she is. She tries to be this poised woman. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, we know that Rinna broke a glass, charged after Kim to choke her in wherever they were in Amsterdam over Kim literally just sitting there and saying, let's talk about the husbands and eat some bread. And Rinna was ready to light her ass up. So she has had a Kathy Hilton meltdown herself. So for her to act like she hasn't seen anything like it, it's crazy. But she did say, I can't believe she would say it. I can't believe she would even think it. I can't believe she would even feel it about her sister. Now, it's possible that she said other things about other people, about those, you know, about the racial things. She said homophobic things and also her sister. But it seemed like it flowed, and it seemed like in that scene, in that talking head, that she's so distraught over what she said about her sister. So she leaves. Crystal comes back in, lets them know, like, look, Rinna looked like she saw a ghost, and Erica agrees to go call Rinna to make sure she's okay. So she and Diana go into the room. They call Rinna. She doesn't answer. And they just talk again about how Kathy was raging and they didn't know who that woman was. And you know, Diana again is just like, I don't know who this was, blah, blah, blah. Erica doesn't know why she was that angry. And Erica's problem is that Kathy isn't speaking. Erica literally says, this game turns on everyone. So it's a game, huh? You guys are admitting it, and now it's your turn, she says. So Erica's big thing is that, look, I don't get a pass. I've said horrible things, but we have to talk about it for several episodes, or I get dragged online and all these places everywhere for the things that I'm saying out of my mouth. And Erica has a lot of stress on her as well, right? But she's like, you know, Kathy said all these things that's magically not caught on camera. That's that none of the women are even really acknowledging what was really said. And she's like, I am not going to be the scapegoat. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, actually earlier in that scene with Dorit, she said that multiple times. I'm not going to be their whipping boy. If you think I'm going to lay down and I'm going to take it, I am not going to be the whipping boy. And you know what? I cannot say I disagree. Erica said a lot of horrible things and they've been caught on camera out of her own mouth. And now Kathy Hilton is being accused of saying these horrible things. And the only thing we see are the quirky things that come out of Kathy's mouth. So Erica's like, no, bitch, you are not. Erica's letting them, you are not going to play me. She said, I'm not afraid of Kathy Hilton. Okay. Dorit comes in. They're all going to say goodbye. Diana leaves. The other ladies leave. They all say goodbye. But Erica has Dorit kind of say goodbye real quick. And she says, you know, she explains, she goes, I think I know why Rinna left. She goes, it got worse. Kathy's meltdown got worse. In the Sprinter van at the house, it got worse. Erica said, remember, be careful of those who have lots to protect and lots to lose. She's like, I don't have anything to protect. She goes, you know, again, implying that this is bigger than Kathy saying some mean things about her sister. I think we all could say big what she said some mean things about her sister, or even if she said them about her sister's husband, or maybe her nieces and nephews. Like, she's known them all her life. Maybe she has a right to say those things, right? But it's bigger. It's more sinister. At least that's what those two are implying. So do I think that Kathy had a meltdown? Absolutely. I think she did. I think we saw it brewing. I think we were all in agreement that at least the way they edited or whatever the case may be, it looked like the ladies were being a little dismissive of Kathy, a little annoyed by her. Maurizio was annoyed. He wasn't trying to make that corn. It was just like everybody had an attitude with Kathy here and there, and maybe she had just had enough of it. Do I think Kathy said more in the club than is being advised? What I find interesting is that they all were in the club. Now, we know clubs are loud, right? And I can understand that maybe there was a commotion and they didn't quite hear what she was saying. But if the issue started with the DJ and she's using racial slurs at the DJ and homophobic slurs, that is a bigger deal. I mean, the DJ would probably have been like, did you hear what she just said? You know what I mean? Like, this is probably a DJ who is getting paid. He's not some little rinky-dink DJ. It would be an issue if she is saying those things. A person of color, a gay person. Like, you're not gonna. I don't care. You're not finna just say some names. I think that would have been brought to light. Okay, to the point where they would have all been like, I heard. You know, even if after Rinna waltzed her out, they might have been asked to leave after that. They might have been asked, or the ladies would have said, did you hear what she said? Like, more people would know that she said that. And I feel like the only people who are acting like it got more sinister is Rinna and Erica. Crystal doesn't seem to miss a beat. Garcelle was not there, or Cherie. They were not there. And Kyle isn't acting like anything else happened but her sister going off on her. She doesn't seem shaken. She doesn't seem anxious that it's going to get out that her sister is saying racial things. Like, she doesn't seem like she's carrying that, like, oh my God, this is going to be big for our family. This is, you know, she doesn't seem like she's carrying that. She doesn't even seem like she's so upset that Kathy didn't leave, to be honest, but I know that they're used to having these fights. Now, do I think it's possible that Kathy could have said those things? Yes, because, well, nobody's immune to saying that. I mean, that's not how I carry myself, but like, it could happen, right? Anybody could say something like that. And if we have to tell the truth, Paris Hilton herself has on camera back in the day said racial slurs. I also believe one of Kathy's sons also said racial slurs. You learn those things from somewhere. So I don't know. I should hope not. Kathy seems like a good person, but you never know what people are truly thinking. She is of a certain level, elite, very privileged. I don't know. Do I think Rinna is lying? Some of it does not sound believable. The jumping on her own glasses. Where's the proof? Where's the glass? Like, the camera didn't get that. The pounding the walls. Like, that sounds crazy. Going off on her sister, yes, saying I'm going to destroy NBC Bravo. Yeah, I could see that. You know, what do we see in movies when like rich people get mad? I'll destroy you. I'm going to have your job. And like, I mean, I work with people who are just like average people. They'll be like, I'm going to sue you. Okay. You know, yes, people throw out things like that when they're upset. I think it's just brilliant and just so amazing that the person who needs to just bring everyone's truth to the table is Rinna. It's always her who needs to bring out someone else's light, someone or darkness, someone else's evil, someone else's whatever they're not being truthful about. Yet we don't get anything on her like that. You know, she doesn't have to talk about the husband. She doesn't talk about, you know, the fact that her daughter said on social media that Rinna should pay for her counseling because she's been so screwed up by her parents. Like, she don't talk about none of that stuff, right? but it's Rinna's responsibility to talk about Yolanda's Lyme disease, to talk about the stupid, Vanderpump and the Lucy Juicy apple juice dog, the affair with Denise and Brandy. It's Rinna who needs to just, if you just admit it, we'll move on. It's Rinna who needs to go after now Kathy to expose her. So I don't know. I need to see more. Rinna claims she has all these receipts. I don't feel like she's produced them appropriately. She's been leaking things herself to the press. I don't know. She might have bitten off more than she can chew with this. I am looking forward to seeing what happens next episode. This has been so draining. We don't have much longer of this season, though. We have like 2 more episodes or something, 2 or 3, and then reunions. And I don't know. If it's going to be 4 parts, it better bring it, because literally that's like 6 more episodes of this. I'm ready for some other franchises, but this is like, honestly, the drama that just won't freaking stop. But again, I hope you have enjoyed my recap. I will try to get tomorrow's recap up a lot sooner than I got this one, as I hope I get some views on this and also some subscribers. Last I checked, I had 28. So I'm so happy I have 28. I want to get to 30. Oh no, I want to get to 50. That's my new goal. And then I'm going to paint this dingy wall when I get to 50. So let's help me get to 50. If you have any ideas or whatever, or if there's anything you want me to cover or talk about, please let me know. So comment, like, again, subscribe if you're watching this. And that is all. I will talk to y'all later.